based on an article written by Katherine Hayles. The notion of ADHD and hyperactivity has become a central topic of discussion in 2017 as we continue to live in this multimedia-centered society. According to Katherine Hayles, hyperattention is characterized by the constant switch of focus rapidly among different tasks, preferring multiple information streams and seeking a high level of stimulation, and having a very low tolerance for boredom. For people going through their teenage years and beyond, the idea of hyperactivity can be studied through our constant use of various social media platforms. This raises the question of whether or not our juggling use of social media is a good or bad thing. Some would say that social media platforms such as Twitter assist in keeping people up to date with news that regular TV news stations or newspapers can't do. Others will say that constant use of social media causes people to become out of touch with real life and living in the present. So, is our constant hyperactive use of social media a positive outlook on how we will continue to quote unquote connect with people and educate ourselves? Or are we slowly killing the whole meaning of connection because of this guilty pleasure that provides us with a sense of security that we can't seem to live without? This brings me to my next point of discussion. Most likely the biggest factor affected by hyperactivity being education and schooling. The act of going to school during the day and then having to come home and focus on your homework afterwards is becoming more and more difficult for students who have grown up in this ADHD generation, so to speak. At the time of this article I'm referencing, around 30% of students have admitted to attending to other activities while doing their homework. This would include watching television, listening to music, or playing video games. And with this uprise of social media in current day, where smartphones act as literal mini-computers allowing you to do anything you want, it is extremely hard to devote deep attention onto one thing anymore. ADHD can be a very difficult topic of discussion due to the fact that there are many kids out there who have been wrongly diagnosed with it, just because of a few signs they may have shown to lead as evidence to having the disorder. This raises the question of whether ADHD should even be considered a disorder, since we are now amid a generational shift of behavior, shifting from deep attention to hyperattention. So, could we confidently say that people are possibly born with ADHD in a way? Because science has evidence to back up this assumption. So, according to recent studies, it is believed that kids who are born into media-rich societies literally have a different wiring to their brains than kids who are born into other environments, almost as if they were pre-programmed to be hyperattentive. With that said, it seems that the onward shift into a hyperactive society won't be slowing down anytime soon, which could only raise questions about how young children will be raised and educated in the future. Could this mean that schools will one day reach a point where they have absolutely no choice but to adjust to the speed of our technologically inclined hyperactive society? I'll conclude by quoting Katherine Hayles once more. Do we change the students to the educational environment, or change the environment to the students? Thank you.